I have been putting off sharing anything about my website process and updates to it for so long because, like you, things are just moving so quickly, and there is an update, an AI change, or something like every 2 seconds, and I am overwhelmed at what my new process looks like. And as much as I have wanted to talk about this topic and talk about updates I've made and changes with Webflow and what I'm doing now and all of that good stuff, it hasn't felt clear because, like, the truth is this process is very messy for me right now, as I'm sure it probably feels like for you as well. And first of all, if you are one of those people who constantly feels like they are behind with all of these AI changes that are happening as brand designers and web designers, you are not behind. There is a lot to learn, but there is so much clickbaity bullshit out there that it's driving me nuts because I have tested so many of these tools in actual client projects I've been starting to do. And while yes, it is like very impressive right off the bat, when you really start to dig under the hood and see like what is editable, not only for you, the designer, but like how is my client going to work with this? What happens if they have revisions, which they will and they should? And you should too. How do I effectively make changes to this? How do I pass this off to them? Is this still like development, production ready? And the answer for most of it is no. Like, it's a good starting point. There's a lot that we can do. But as far as what a true client-ready production workflow looks like from the brand to web design to web development process, I'm still figuring it out. I don't have that answer yet. And that has kept me from, making any new videos or content or even updating my course or anything like that because I didn't have the answer yet. And it just kind of hit me that like, oh, that's exactly why we need to talk about this now. And life has been so crazy. I'm in a totally different space because I moved out of a previous apartment due to a very bad mold issue and had to get rid of a lot of stuff and was hotel hopping with my boyfriend for a while until we found a new place. And so I haven't even had like a normal office for a while. Even right now, like, I'm fully in a bedroom with a random desk I made over my dressers that is not ready for filming, quote unquote. But I think that's kind of exactly why we got to do this. But I think it's time to just rip the Band-Aid off and uncover like what it is that is actually working and not working for me right now. And this is just sort of like a little reintroduction to some of the things I want to talk about as it relates to Webflow, as it relates to web design, to AI changes, things I'm adopting. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Claude, but not in every area. And it's really changing what my workflow looks like to be able to make this production ready for a client. And that's the stuff I want to talk about. I'm using Claude for a lot of like sitemaps and wireframes, but they still need a lot of my input and revisions and strategy to make them good, to make them something I'm proud of that's going to work for my client. Not only because it needs that, but also because it feels good as the designer to actually feel like you have a hand in that creation. Like, my goal is not to have a tool that can do this all in a few clicks for me and I don't have to think about it. Like, I love this process. That's why I got into this. And I love the magic that's created when you're working with a client. You're bouncing ideas off of each other. And so I don't want that part of the process to be gone. How can we bring this stuff together? So I've had an idea for a project I've wanted to do for a bit, where I take kind of a real world client project of brand and website, something I would have built in Webflow before, and I take the exact same site and project, and I'm going to execute it in multiple different platforms and processes and like do a full compare contrast on what I like and what I don't. So obviously one of those methods is going to be Webflow, and like how are we introducing AI even into part of that process, from the Figma to Webflow to development, etc. Another one of those processes, I want to be using Framer. Another version of that, I want to be totally vibe coded. And then I think even I might want to do a Squarespace plus a little bit of vibe code and build the exact same thing and all these different methods and platforms and just like break it all down. What actually worked? How do we hand this off to a client? Can we hand this off to a client? Can they still make edits? What would I charge for something like this? How long did they take? Was it fun in the process? Is it something that I can scale? Am I going to be like reinventing the wheel with every project, which is how I felt with Squarespace? Or can I reuse components that I've made before, which is obviously part of why I loved Webflow? and just figuring out, with my clients and as mentalities towards websites and design in general start to shift, what really is the right answer? What can I put my stamp or seal of approval behind that I feel confident about? And I don't have that yet. So I'm going to go on that journey to figure it out. And I would like to take you along with me and just be brutally honest about all of it. And then we can all make decisions for ourselves on what feels right. So if you're into that, let me know. If there's a certain platform or method you want me to maybe add to this experiment or project besides the ones I've already listed, drop it in the comments. Maybe like each process and project is going to be its own video, and then that becomes a series of some kind. I'm excited to be back and just rip the Band-Aid off and start talking about this stuff because we need to. All right, so I will see you soon. Bye.